Okay,
Still not started. Oh, there it goes. Okay, sorry.
we're recording.
We're
Hi,
doing it. We're on.
hi everybody. Welcome to the Noyantis user group webinar. Today's the 29th of Jan, 2018. Myself and John are here. As always, without the webinars, any questions or problems or ideas, then feel free to raise a hand. We'll open the mics up and we'll discuss problems, ideas, suggestions, anything you like. So, as always, I would like to start with a quick update of what's currently going on and so on. So that's what we'll do now. So, obviously, we've been, in the last couple of weeks, we've been mentioning the new multi DLL enhancement to the CodeJoc templates and the CodeJoc resource template. Now, development on that is still ongoing. It's not on as far as I'd wanted to. It's not as far on as I'd liked, but to be honest, I've had to do some changes this last week to the calendar, which we'll cover in a second, because of an actual project that I was working on for somebody, and that work needed to be done this last week. So unfortunately, that's had to be slotted in the development schedule. So apologies for that. It is close. It is good, and you will get it. It's just a slight delay on that. So now, other things which we've got going on at the moment is the calendar, which I just mentioned a minute ago, and it's to do with the reminders. So does anybody, quick show of hands, anybody use the reminder facility in the calendar? I'm not seeing any at the moment. Oh yes, we do. Yep. Okay. David, I'm just going to quickly open your mic. Hi, David. Just put you on the spot here. Hi, David. Can you hear me? No. Okay. Maybe he's not got a microphone. I'll leave it open just in case you're trying to unmute the mic or find it and so on.
I finally made it. Hey.
You're there, yes. There, yeah. Okay. So you use the calendar, obviously. I know that. Do you use the reminders?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I take it, obviously, at the moment you use the reminder window, which comes via CodeJoc.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the good news is that there's quite a few changes going on the to do with the reminders. So if we quickly let's have a look at any of the things. So this one, calendar reminders. If we look at the template interface, and I can cover the new events that trigger and so on in this session now. Then basically we go to the reminders, and you used to just have a tick. Do you use reminders? Now you've got a range. So basically, not in use. So the flags will be backwards compatible, so you don't have to worry about changing the template. But you've got not in use, use CodeJoc reminder, use the window, use a Noyantis window, or handle it yourself. So it puts you basically fully in charge of what you want to do. So in this one, I've still got use the CodeJoc reminder window, so that would trigger. But I've also got some new embed points, one of which, if we go down here, is the fact that the reminders themselves have triggered. So we've got reminders fired. So in here, forget that, that's just some debugging this test app. I'm saying I want to call my own actual window. So you can build, now there's going to be a Noyantis built-in window, which is basically what you're going to see this one here in a second. It just happens to be a separate procedure at the moment during development. But you could, in turn, you could have your own window. So if you wanted to have your reminders, but then maybe build in a few other items into the queue of reminders, so you can say, okay, I need the customers in there and a contact telephone number, that type of thing. You can do all that with the built-in the built-in queues that are now have populated for you. So let me show you what I mean by this. So we've set the template. We're going to still use the CodeJock window, which is there purely for comparison reasons. In real life, you turn that off, and
Gotcha.
I'm also going to call this one. So the new embed points you've got are this reminders fired. Just let me bring it up in here so I can actually see the full list on my other window. Just 1 second. Reminders fired. Reminder dismissed. Reminder snooze. And you should have under the events event reminder dismissed, event reminder snoozed. So basically that's one single event. So that gets the internal calendar ID and the record ID. So if you didn't want to put a screen up and you just wanted to put a message up, then that would trigger and you could say, right, I want you to go and snooze for 10 minutes or dismiss it. And that could just be a simple message command. And then you're actioning the results of that message. So you've got quite a few options open to you. And then if you did, basically that's event reminder, dismissed and so on and so forth. The difference between these, where are we? The reminder dismiss is an actual method that you can now call, and reminder snooze is a method you call. And basically you pass it out of the reminder object, if you will. You pass it the index that you want to go and bit like a queue position, if you will. You pass it the index of the reminder that you want to snooze or the reminder that you want to dismiss.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Okay. To see that in action, it's going to call this window, and then after it's called this window, it's actually going to call the built-in CodeJock one, as I say, purely for comparison reasons. But you can see here, this is a reminder window that I've created. Got a subject, again, comes from the built-in calendar content, a due in, which is now calculated for you, and I've even just put the date and time. Now you could put anything in this. This window could be as wide as you want, resizable, and you can put other options on there. Like I say, you might have customer contact telephone number, some details if it's to do with a particular job that you're reminding somebody of, details of a job. It's unlimited. It's exactly what you want from it, and so on. Behind the scenes, you've got, let me just move this to the back, we've got a dismiss all. I've added a snooze all, even though the normal office type reminder window doesn't have that. I thought it might come in handy. So we've got a dismiss all, a snooze all, open appointment, and a dismiss, snooze, and close. So, for example, to see that snooze, what you would do is go and get the selection out of the queue. Go and get the particular snooze time, if you will. You have to switch the target, so this gets a bit heavy going here, but the demo app will be updated with this, so you will get a full example of this to see what's going on.
So you set the target to the other window there.
Yeah, basically, because the reminder window is called, it's called, and the parameter of this window is actually the calendar class itself. So it's got access to the class. But if you want those actual events to trigger, then what you need to do is put the calendar into target, into focus. Not visually, just from a target point of view.
Right.
So you can see here that we've got a snooze, so we can say, same again. We target it, reminder snooze, and I pass it basically, the pointer is 0 based, so that's why I'm taking one off, with how many minutes I want to snooze it for, and then I've just set the target back to where we are now currently.
Set it back. Okay.
So, in fact, thinking about it, I could actually move that code. We'll try it in a second. I could move that code off to the calendar itself. Not sure. But let's see that.
Can you just do a set target with no parameters there and have it, doesn't that set it back?
Yes, it would. So I could actually, we'll see about doing this code in a second. So we can see here, 1 minute, we'll snooze that one, snooze, snooze, and that's gone. And in, what we on, in 50 seconds or so, something like that, then it will kick back into life. In fact, we'll leave that just a second. So now,
a 5-second reminder.
Well, yes. Now, for everybody who's thinking maybe watching this on catch up and so on the recordings, of course it might be. What about the code window will automatically translate to the language file which is active. So to cover that, if you've got the built-in Noyantis window, or you want to do your own particular window, like we've got one here, the actual calendar class now has, and I'll bring this into focus, has a group structure called reminders window. And in here you can see basically which buttons should be on or not. So you can hide the dismiss. Oh, there's our reminder. I'm kicking back in. Oh, and there's the other one. Come back to that in a second. Dismiss or dismiss all, snooze again. So there, do you want the buttons on or off? Do you want icons on the buttons? And then these are the actual individual wordings that you're going to use. So what words you use for reminder or reminders, plural, day and days, hour and hours, so on and so forth. So that's all the wording that would need. It ships with the regular defaults, as you would expect. So reminder, reminders, day, days, hour. So it ships with English, but of course you can override that during the init template settings, or on the template interface. I've not done the prompts yet, but it's literally just a prompt and an equals. So that's that's neither here nor there. You can basically make sure that you are still fully international. So for different languages, it's covered. So yes, basically that is the new reminder facility. Does that make sense to you? Are we still there? Everybody there?
Oh, yep.
Oh.
I think I'm still here. No, that makes sense, Andy.
So, okay, so that should open up quite a lot. And you can see here, it's calculating the wording, what basically what's needed. So 6 hours overdue. It calculates it in the same manner as basically the Office and the CodeJock one does. So let's just get rid of that. And we can see there's the built-in CodeJock one, and they're the same. If we was to, let's put another one in. There's our reminder, thank you very much. And we'll have a reminder for today, and we'll say it's a user group test. We'll have a reminder 14 minutes, yeah, because it's now 4:15 UK time, in 14 minutes. So we'll have that kicking into life there. It's seen it as due. Can argue whether that should come up there. Would that one do? Yes, it would. Okay, basically it's going to marry up. So, and if it's just overdue and so on and so forth, then it would calculate all the particular things and calculate the word. Sorry, let me just open that. Go back in. And the word overdue. So it calculates whether it's overdue or not and does it all accordingly. So you've got control over all of the things here, wording and so on and so forth. And the class point of view, if you wanted to do your own, last but not least, we can see here that you've now got, go back to our class, an actual queue called reminders queue, and it populates it with automatically for you when the reminder is fired. This is populated so you can do your own window. Gets the ID of the event. If it's a recurring occurrence, it gets the occurrence ID, the record ID, which of course you'll need, the raw object, which is the lowest particular property of an object. So you've got the raw object, and then the usual things, the subject, mins before start, mins for next reminder date and time, it calculates the word overdue, basically, with the language setting, of course, and then the due in, it calculates that for you. And that's it, really. So you can see in our window, I put it into a local queue, just in case you want to demonstrate putting extra fields in there and so on. But in the window in it, I literally just build a local queue, and I'm just reading that one and putting them into our own. Nice and simple.
Yeah, I got you.
So quite a largish update there from a reminders point of view on the calendar. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on the calendar. That was really it. Oh, there was I don't know, again with the reminders, if anybody saw I think we mentioned this last week, the doubling up of the reminder icon, but that's now corrected. Okay, anybody got any questions on the reminders which we just commented on the calendar? Nope. Okay. So
is that going to be out in the 4.3 or?
That's going to get its own little interim update.
I get you. Okay.
Because I haven't done the template changes to the calendar to do with the resource template, so it will get its own little update. Could be as early as tomorrow, to be honest, because that's basically it's all done now. All literally got to do is take that window and put it into the class, so it's a built-in Noyantis window. So that's how the Noyantis window. That's how the Noyantis window is going to look, and then you just get to turn on these and basically just put it into the class. So it has its own accept loop and so on and so forth. So yeah, that'll go out as early as tomorrow. The update. Okay. Tested it inside of a live app, like I say, there's a particular client who some contract work which needed to take fully charge, and they wanted extra things on this queue and so on and so forth, and they wanted to be able to call. So let's say I don't think I've got that turned on here, but we could say on here update, and we can go open, and we're calling our standard form.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, so we wanted that kind of functionality on the actual the actual braining here, Andy, UI. So they needed that like yesterday. So of course that's why it jumped up the queue. Just to show, you can see the update template there. If I press dismiss, and we've got there's a reminder in the calendar, and that's just dismissed it now. So no more reminders on that. So if I was to go, and we can see the code drop one now mirrors that. So if I was to go to that now, the reminder's now been turned off.
Oh yeah, okay.
Also, if you want it to work that way, how that's working, it's something you could have done in the past, is on the sync, not that window, sorry, that window. On your normal calendar, you have your sync calendar to file, and in there, there's a new method called get event reminder, which will return true or false if it's got a reminder, and I'm actually storing that. So the actual chain of events, what happens is, go into this one because it's probably an easier flow, but this window is running its own accept loop and so on. Now, if I was to press that one, no, we'll do the book because I can see the dentist there. If I was to dismiss that, what it's actually going to do is call the reminder dismiss with a particular index. That would, inside of the calendar, tell it to go and dismiss that event. That's fine. That would see that as an update to the event, just like you've gone and moved it around its start time. It would see it as a change, calls the calendar sync calendar to file, calls that routine, that method, which of course you set your properties in, and then that would naturally go and call your file fetch and file update. So all of your code, which is currently in your calendar, still gets actioned. So this window itself does nothing to do with the UI if you don't want it to. All the events are in the calendar, so you keep all the code still in the calendar, which you've already got working, tried and tested.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the idea behind it. So, okie dokie.
Also, look at how mine's coded.
Again, I'll update the example app. I'm going to actually. We still support Clarion 6. Obviously, we don't do C55 anymore, although these things will probably carry on working in 5.5. But the examples are currently still in C6, and I think I'm going to start shipping them in C8 now because it probably just makes sense, to be fair. So that's one update which is on its way to you. Now, I mean, Bill has just mentioned on one of the questions, have we got an update to the Chillcat? So, Bill, let's open it. See if we've got a microphone. Hi, Bill.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Everybody good out that way?
Oh, yes, thank you. So, yes, we have got an update to Chillcat, and I will get it out to you sooner rather than later. Again, it'll be this week. You'll have it this week. And the main update to the Chillcat, just let me remind myself of this, is the SFTP, which I know you wanted it for the FTP stuff. So the secure FTP, I'll just have to populate the FTP class as well. But it'll go in this week, so you'll get it. It's not a problem. But there's also two supporting classes, which is SFTP dir and SFTP file, and they've been done as well. So there is a good Chillcat update coming out this week. So
sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like I say, the SFTP has a few more methods in it and so on, and so you finish off wrapping those up, and then it'll be a case of copying it to FTP, if that makes sense, rather than having to recode it all twice. Chillcat actually have it as two separate classes, so of course I'll mirror it the same. So if you ever look at their documents, it'll be nice and simple to follow. So, but there is one other thing on the Chillcat stuff which is on its way. Update coming this week, and John, I don't know if you this is probably of your attention as well. The lead up to Friday, we've got a panel on SMS, so I thought I would put some work into it. And now you can see you've got a new class on the Chillcat stuff. We'll just open this up. It's a task class and it's SMS. Actually, it shouldn't be Google. It shouldn't be ticked on Google. That one. You can tell which example I used. But you've got a task class of SMS. So if you want to see this in action, I'll make sure the volume on my phone. So I could type in a user group test. I can connect. This is using Twilio. Send, and hopefully, just waiting for. There you go. I don't know if anyone heard that, but that's just come through. Yep. Cool. And I can disconnect or I can send any number that I want. So that's still being padded out, but that will be in this release as well. But it's not just going to be Twilio. The four. I mean, I'll take ideas from anybody. I'm just trying to feel I've got my window open.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It's covers Twilio. It's going to cover Telesign. Is it Plivo? I'm not sure I even pronouncing that right. And Text Local, which is more of a UK. They do international, but they're based in the UK. So, and they offer various things. So basically, just like we do with, say, our media wrapper and our PDF wrapper, where you have the one product and you cover multiple, like the media covers multiple media engines and the PDF covers multiple PDF engines. So's the SMS class. So at the moment I'm deving it with Twilio, but the idea is you'll call it the same. I'm not going to show the code for the Connect because I've got my API keys in there, but it would be along the lines of, you can see here, it's send SMS from telephone number, from to, and the message. And And there's a few other niceties coming in that before release as well. So you're not going to have to just keep calling it one at a time. You can do other stuff with it. So yes.
That's nice.
Does anybody, what kind of usage? I suppose I'm cheating here, but I really don't mind feedback of people. I know how I've done SMS in the past, and they've all really been batch driven. I just wondered how you guys, anybody want to put their opinion across on SMS usage, or shall we keep that for Friday? In fairness,
Well, kind of both, really.
Probably better for Friday because it'd be more input from outside.
Yeah.
But I do have a question though,
Individual.
Andy, and this is a bit not really off subject, but are you doing anything with this on sending emails with and particularly emails with attachments?
Yes. Yep. The Chillcat does have an email. It's pretty good actually, because it covers IMAP and so on. Really, very very nice. And one of the systems we have sent out all your registrations and your reminders and so on and so forth. Still uses a really old version of ViewMail from my days. Must be 5-6 year old. But you don't have problems mapping that through Office 365 and so on and so forth. So the Chillcat one has it all covered really well. So just like we're doing with the SMS, I'm going to create an email one probably soon after as well, because it's something that I really need to brush up on our own. But yes, Chillcat do. Let me just open Chillcat to show you what you have got. Let me just bring it in into focus. Just 1 second. And I'll probably do the same where it would be able to do bulk. So you'd be able to, basically the idea is you just build a queue and say, go and send that for me, please. And then just with the SMS, it sends, what I've got here now is there's a queue called send SMS queue. You populate it with the contents of what you want it to go. It goes off and sends them. Nice and simple, and then it'll put it into a status queue for you to be able to monitor the statuses. So that would want to be probably going on a timer, so it can give you the feedback of submitted, sending, sent, delivered, whatever the networks report back to you. Then that queue should always marry it at any one time. So I'll do the same with the email. So you can see you've got an email here, and it'll go off the same mailboxes. So you can see all basically. The same function will happen. Covers IMAP, Office 365, those type of things, Gmail.
Yeah, very nice.
So, but yes, that will be another task class. But I might as well not as well, because most of the work is now done. Just got to do the status bit to bring back the statuses of repeating the statuses of the messages in the queue, and what's complete, what's considered to be like completion. Like, so when it's delivered, that's really the end of the status check in my mind. I'll follow suit with the email as well. But the SMS stuff, obviously, we're going to have a good chat on Friday about it all. Any feedback in the meantime, welcome to just drop us an email or anything you like, and we'll cover it then. Okay, so that's updates. You can see, been busy, and Brian is asking regarding the updates on there was the tab key on the report control, and basically I think it was to do the tabbing sequence. There isn't an update today, Brian. Let's open the mic. Where are we? See if Brian's there. Hi, Brian. Not sure he's got a mic, but I'll leave the mic open just in case. But basically, yes. Sorry, no. There was a start. Oh, yes. Hi, Brian.
All right. Hi. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. I said at the just at the outset that basically via some contract work which was doing, which basically pushed the calendar up the development, the calendar reminder facility up the development queue, because it was needed. like almost immediately.
No problem.
So I do apologise. I mean, we covered it 2 weeks ago, and I did look at it afterwards. I think I looked at it, might have been the next day, starting playing about, just trying to get any like pattern to it, because it does seem like sometimes it tabs and sometimes it doesn't. But there must be something which triggers it stopping tabbing, if you will. But that's literally where I got to, and then we got diverted off. But there's going to be a number which you've just literally seen in action of interim builds this week, and then get back onto the resource. But that tab will be in the interim build.
No problem. I don't. You just take your time, whatever you need.
Yeah, well, I'd like to get basically if I hold off and the resource does take us any longer, I don't really want to hold off when there's good tried and tested work out there now. In this stuff, I want to get them out first. So I'll sooner get a couple of interims out and then do the resource one, because the resource is going to be, we're probably going to bump the number up with some of them on 4.03. Any kind of major build to the whole suite, I usually bump it up by a full number or maybe a half, so they'll all go to 4.5. So I don't want to hold off the major build, the interim build, just because of the major, if that makes sense.
Right. No, and I desperately, the resource one that you're working on is very much needed. So
yeah,
that's I love that aspect. So no problem.
So, okay, cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, and by all means, drop me a. Oh, actually, you just reminded me. I just remembered you sent me a message on. I've just got you on Skype. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
that's really bad.
Just one. No, that's all right. I don't mind just sending you, a question about it, or just a.
As I say, with everybody, we are trying to get more organised. I don't know. It's not Clarion related, but does anybody ever use Jira? Anyone heard of Jira for planning? Oh, they're all on here. So if I bring this into focus, just 1 second. Basically, it's for planning, and that's just see particular things that in progress. It's nothing more than a thing, but at any one time you can drop me a quick email and just say where we're up to. I want to basically, from the Jira data, be able to publish what exactly is being worked on at any one time, so people can actually be a bit of transparency. I've got nothing to hide, so I'd like people to be able to see what's currently in dev and what's not in dev and so on. But this has got all projects in, so I can't show everything. I just want it from the Clarion's point of view, the templates point of view. So, but Jira is an excellent development tool for planning and bug reports, issues, enhancements, those types of things. Might be with John. Might be worth doing a Friday webinar on this. See if people are using it.
I use the Visual Studio Team Services one. It's
okay.
Sort of like this one. Yeah. But you get 5 free email IDs or 5 free users with the Visual Studios. Plus, it has continuous integration if you ever can work up to that.
Well, I mean, this ain't too bad. I mean, they'll do your hosting for you, but you can just put it on a Windows machine or a Linux machine. I've put it on our Linux server. But if you put it on your own, you get 10 users and it's $10. That's it, one-off charge. So it's extremely cheap.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Right, thank you.
No, thank you. So I'll just bring that. I don't know. I think that was it for the questions, except for Wolfgang. So we've got an HTML editor. So again, if Wolfgang, are you around? Let's open the mic up. Hi, can you hear us?
Hello, Andy.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hello, everyone. Yes, the question was about this HTML editor, but I just saw that this is not part of the CodeJock templates, but of some whatever n-bit template.
That's right, yeah.
Is that
I mean,
right?
it's our template, but the actual control is n-bit instead of HTML. So
Okay,
now,
this is not part of the. Okay, I have in all those years I have had no chance to use any of these Noyantis stuff,
wow,
and I
okay.
thought this might this yeah, and today I'm due to pay for another year.
Oh,
And so I thought this might be something which could be a point, but it's not covered. Okay,
is it
therefore I have
do you
to.
want editing or is it just to present HTML? Because the CodeJock does have a web viewer which can take static HTML, but it's not editing; it's just a viewer.
Well, at the moment, the data are stored as RTF. They are collected in the form with an RTF control
Okay,
and stored, I think, in a blob or something like that.
okay.
And now the new requirement came up, and the text needs to be displayed as HTML.
Right.
And therefore, I thought I tinker a tool which goes through the records, reads the RTF, and stores it into another blob with the HTML, and then it can be displayed in a web, in this case in a web browser, but possibly in another control.
You have
That
got
was the
that.
idea.
Let me just show you. I'll just open up a folder. Won't be 1 second. Let's just bring up the suite controls. You've got the full CodeJock suite.
I think I took all and everything just to be sure.
Okay.
To don't leave anything out.
Then let's just see, just show you what you can do. If you don't need editing facilities, and it's literally just to present the data, then I think you'll be okay. Let's show you. So what I'm going to do,
Actually, I'm looking for a simple way to convert from RTF to HTML, and most preferred in a computational way, doing a loop over the entire table and having everything stored in another blob. This is the idea at the moment.
I'm not sure what there must be tools out there, but I'd have to look myself to be honest if there's any automated tools for that.
Well, it's every once in a while. Well, actually, quite often, someone pops up with the desire to have a converter from an RTF to HTML and vice versa. And there's nothing in the market, and there's nothing we could do out of the box in Clarion. So the text comes from what source? Is this an RTF or an HTML?
This is just actually specified in the template. This is just HTML code. Now you can set it via a constant, which is what you would want to do is just do it via a method call. So as you're going up and down the database, present the HTML content. It's what I do in some of my applications. Let me quickly show you that. Oh, I'll copy them in a second. Won't be in a minute. But basically, in the suite controls, you do have a web browser. Now it can be a full-blown browser element, but you can populate it yourself. So you can say, take it from a URL, take it from a file, or just actually load it yourself via a call. And that's what you want to do via a method call. Now, the HTML editor from NBit also has that functionality, but let's see if we can actually get what you're after. So I'm just going to do examples HTML. I don't think you don't need the editor, but what we're just going to do is we're going to use the editor to do some merging, and then we'll use the control you've got to actually do the presentation, which will be more what you're after.
Well, I'm not presenting it. I just want to have the data stored in a blob for another occasion to be presented.
Right.
At the moment, I'm just after a data conversion. Otherwise, I have to go through the table and open each contents with the RTF editor, copy it into the clipboard, and then paste it into Word or something like that, and save that as a HTML, and take this back via clipboard into a blob field which holds the HTML stuff.
I wonder if you could do
this. Is very pedestrian.
I wonder if we could do this via the, but it's getting the content of the RTF. Might be able to do it via this. It's not something I've actually tried, but I could try it. But I'm trying to. You would need the editor if you wanted to be able to utilize the editing capability, e.g., paste into it or set its content and so on. Then yes, we would have to. You would need the editor rather than just the viewer. But you can see this is basically set up a newsletter type thing with some merged tokens, and then to see that in action as you go up and down the database, it would basically merge the tokens to what's needed. So now that's done, basically taking one HTML content, doing some mergers, presenting it to the user. So if we could, I don't know what Clarion's RTF control, whether you can actually get to the content of the RTF, including obviously all the tags, and then paste it into the editor. That could be an idea.
But it's not doable with my Kojak stuff.
But that's the thing, unfortunately, no. I mean, what I was going to say there, if you've got that done, so we'll take that proof, the proofread one, and what we're just going to do is we'll make that so big. We'll put the Kojak one in so you can just see what it is you've got. So web browser. No. Oh, sorry, it's not that. It's Suite Controls. I'll go with that. As good as any. So you would drop the viewer, if you will, on the window. So there's our web browser. And so what we're going to do is no context menu, I'm not bothered about that. The content itself would say none for now, and they're just standard stuff, so we'll go with that. And in here, as it's going up and down the records, that's where it's reloading the editor, which of course we don't want to do. What I want to do is the web browser. Can't remember what the actual command is. Just 1 second. So display when. So it would be something like set inner HTML, and we want to get it from the editor. Now, of course, yours would be out of your blob instead of from the editor, but it would be something like get document HTML. That'll do. So now you can see what the editor has now done. The web browser has now done is got its content from this. So we already have the code in the editor to go and change the content of that, and then we're just saying basically go and get that content, which is what you would have stored in your blob, and put it into the browser.
And
so you have got that viewer already. So you've got that in your part of your suite. It's in the suite controls, and it's the web browser. And it would be one call. Let me just show you that line. So from your point of view, you're not really bothered about any of that because you would already have the HTML stored within a record. So all you really need
no, the HTML is not stored. I have only RTF.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant
I'm sitting on a pile of RTF, and I need each RTF blob converted into an HTML blob, and I want to have them both because on one occasion I need an RTF display, and now there's the occasion where I need the same contents which is now in the RTF to be displayed in a web browser, because we hand over our data to another tool from another vendor, and they use the web browser as a display, and so we send our data, the records into.
I've got you.
This RTF.
I thought you wanted to put the browsing, the viewing of the HTML in your application, but you don't. You just provide it to a third party.
No.
Right.
I have RTF, and they need it as an HTML. Okay, so at the moment there's no way other than I go through the table and do this manually. Okay, good. It's doable. Pedestrian, but doable.
We could see we could see the editor, but it's not part of the code jock. It is part of the.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So
I got it.
I can see that.
So
do it for you.
Nonetheless, I will shell out my credit card and pay my next fee, hoping to find another occasion during the next 12 months. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
No problem. Thank you.
So what's so Wolfgang wants to take RTF and convert to HTML. Is that right?
Yes.
What I was hearing.
Yeah.
Okay. We just talked about this on the open webinar, but I don't think I posted it yet. But there's ActiveX controls. I think we found the one that was free that will convert it.
Oh.
From RTF to HTML. I just did a search, a Google search for convert HTML or RTF to HTML, and came up with a bunch of stuff.
Should we take a look? I was there on Wednesday's open webinar.
It might have been the week before.
I was going to say,
It was the last 2 or 3 weeks we went over it. I did again.
Does anybody know the built-in RTF? Does that get you any way of basically getting its content? I've used it very seldomly, I've got to admit. So
I don't know that much about it.
Just for either where you can actually get the actual content.
Yeah, you can get the raw RTF value.
Yeah.
Yeah, the string. Yeah.
I mean.
All right. So I did a search, convert RTF to HTML, and then I put ActiveX on the back of it, and then I came up with a few. I figured there's always an ActiveX control that does what you want, right?
Okay, so docfrac, RTF to text. Okay, is that free?
I don't know if that's free. You need to find one that's.
I didn't see any pricing. Yeah.
No, that's on SourceForge. Usually those are out there for you.
Wolfgang, do you want to? Should this keep it for an open webinar, or do you want us to have a quick go at it now? Or I think it's not quite CodeJock stuff or Noyantis stuff, but I'm open to helping. That's the whole point of these things. So
Wolfgang got quiet. He's got to unmute himself. Wait a minute.
Is it easy to get that ActiveX into Clarion? Okay.
Usually.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought it'd be a problem.
Yeah,
I was
on the open
like-
webinar, they had email that was stored in RTF. You know, it was form letter stuff, but they
Yes.
wanted to send it out as HTML email. So that's what the discussion was about.
Okay.
I don't want to bore you, and I don't want to hijack your webinar. So if
Too late.
you're
It's too late,
having,
Wolfgang.
Yeah.
Too late. You've already bored us and you've already hijacked us, so it's too late.
Okay, we're going for it. Let's have a look. First of all, let's see.
Kind of like to see it. Yeah.
I'm just teasing Wolfgang. I was just kidding. No, this everything is interesting, of course.
Oh, God, yeah, I can put that on. Right.
No, this is good because we had looked at it just a little bit, but we hadn't gotten too deep into it. So if we have a second, yeah. I didn't even find this one. This didn't even show up on my search.
So. Where do we start? First of all,
So you got an ActiveX, huh? That's where you start with?
yep, I should imagine it is. Let's have a look at what we've got. So for me, I would do a
Andy,
apps. Yeah.
while I see your type library pop up here,
Yes.
I got an email from somebody who was looking for it, and it's been discontinued. They can't find it.
Yes,
So
and the ones what are out there are full of viruses.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
the
he
type
said,
library viewers? Oh.
yeah, I sent it to him, but it was missing some file, and I don't have the install for it. Or I can't find it. I don't know if you have the install for it.
I do, yes.
Or it can be
I protect
done
it.
from-
But yes, of course, no problem.
Yeah.
I sent it to a couple of
I'll
people
forward
after the DevCon because they was also looking for it. So yeah,
Okay.
by all means, send the email across and I will sort them out.
Okay, I'll do it now while I'm thinking about it.
So what was I thinking? I didn't want that. I wanted program files. So I'm presuming it's that one, is it? Soon tell you.
Core and a...
Oh. Let's have a look at the core. No, it doesn't like that. Really? Is this actually...
they are all dated from 2013.
Oh, this is actual just the app. Mind you. Yes, no, this looks like this isn't actually...
It's not an ActiveX. So.
It's nothing we can
No.
include into our own program. It's a
John,
standalone program.
do you know if you've got that particular one you saw?
Let me look and see. I saw it on your search. It was RTF-2-HTML space converter. This one isn't free, but it's ActiveX for sure. Yeah, it's the fourth one down.
This one.
Yeah.
2006. That's still quite old, though, isn't it? It's still quite a cost of 149.
And
Yeah,
it's
so
from
it's kind of expensive. But then
2006.
I'm sure I found a free one. Let me just
12 years old.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
yeah, but
pretty
you know,
old
you're
now.
dealing with kind of old stuff anyway, right?
What about
Yeah.
WP?
That means the problem is quite old. Everyone has this problem for years, and there's no viable solution what we can throw into Clarion and get it done.
Oh, don't give up yet.
I'd still be intrigued to see if we can just take the RTF content and paste it into the editor. Let's just try.
See what it does. Huh?
Yeah. I'm going to get rid of that doc frac before I forget as well. Won't be a second. And clear the register. Make sure it's gone.
I sent you a link, Andy.
Okay. Is this for control?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We shall have a look at that. Just.
Yeah. This is one. It's not free. It's $50 though. I mean, it's not expensive.
$50 ain't too bad. Does it have a trial so we can at least test it?
Yeah. What's interesting on this in this link I sent you is that they talk about Chillcat from back in this posted.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
It says and if you in that link I just sent you, he's talking about. It says I use this to enable the user to write emails in CDB rich editor and send them out with Chillcat, and it works great. So that's kind of interesting right there.
Okay, so we've got. I just want to create just an RTF. Let's see if I'll just put it. I'll put it on the editor for now. Blank editor. We'll just pinch this one. So Clarion's RTF. Like I said, can't say I really utilise it that much.
I've never used it at all.
No. What's the difference between these? One an older one new?
I think one comes with those controls above with bold and italics and all that stuff.
Okay, well, let's have a look at this actually. Displays the RTF. RTF control with. Okay. Shows how often we use RTF. Clarion's just told us off for it. Okay, so we chose the wrong thing, so.
This RTF stuff has never got much love from Velocity.
Actually, I do remember. I think I had to do it for an actual application I was working on the last place. Also, let's just put an RTF here.
And then in the property editor, you have
over here.
Check my use rich text. Yeah.
I'll put file in there just so at the moment I can just. And then do you add it as an extension, RTF? No? Okay.
No extension.
Do you know, do we have a class then?
Brian says the open webinar was on the 10th. Did I post that one yet? Yes, I did. Yeah, so that one's up. That one's up.
Okay, so this has got our RTF. It's quite a long way around. The hours is here. When I close, it then wants to try and open the RTF.
Maybe you need the entire path.
I've not given it anything so far, but oh yes, I did. Yeah. No, actually, that was on the other thing. No, it was just file. Said it's a file, but I would have expected some kind of extension. But okay, so do they have an RTF class for us? all this just to get the RTF on. Okay, so is there a class created for us with some kind of load?
Well, at least it compiles. So that's always a progress.
Refresh file name. Oh, that's not anything.
Yeah, I'm not actually seeing. I find it's very poor, I'll be honest with you.
You see, this is the menu, the symbol menu of the RTF control when you want to use it as an editor. That's what I have in this program already. And this is how the text comes into the database. It's stored as a blob. And there's already another blob for HTML, but it's still empty.
Okay. Okay, so I have a class RTF control. Okay, it's not like that.
The question is, which
CLA string file name. Oh, sponsor. Right, okay.
and you say long part is enough? Yeah, we will see.
Yep, let's try see if that. At the moment, we just want to get the content actually on the window.
Do you have to display it afterwards or anything?
I would have thought so, but
Well, you can, you know those moments when you work hour after hour during the night, and you see exactly what just happened. Nothing. This is the fate of a programmer. Burning the midnight oil for nothing.
I've just seen that apparently you can pass it nothing and it'll prompt you. So, okay. Did that not save? Maybe that was me then before. This is normal. This is italic. This is bold. Oof. Right. Oh, okay. So we've got something there now, at last. So what I was wondering is, we take a look at the Clarion class, can we get to the content of that RTF?
Which sits in a blob, yeah. Except saving this blob to a file on the drive, reading it somehow automatically. The idea was to loop through, just pressing a go button, and 5 seconds later, finished.
Well, there are
And
some
that
things
was
in
the
there.
plan.
So you've got that. I'm just seeing as a get or a property. You know, select text, get text. Okay.
Yeah, that would just get the text back, but I think the text field itself contains the raw. It's just displayed with the out, but the raw value there, like if you just dump out the, look at the string,
Yeah.
I think you'd see all the extra formatting fields, data in there.
That's what I was after trying to get.
It's displaying it in a text field, so it knows, that it's RTF.
To be able to
formats it for you.
try to see if there's any property to.
So if you showed that in a string or any other place, you'd see it not formatted.
Yeah, but what I want to really do is get to the property of basically which includes all the characters. So I've got
just the value of that just the value of that text field. That will have all the formatting stuff in it.
Yeah, basically. I just want to.
It's like getting a date, right? The date displays.
That's right. Yeah.
The date, but it's a number that's actually there. So you're saying
So if you just
it's already there.
It's already there in that text field. Just do whatever you want with it.
Just look at the variables.
Oh, I've got you. So on this.
Yeah, that's assign it to a variable.
Yeah, the answer will be it's already stored there. Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
I'm looking for.
Just I know we could use any. Just going to use a large one for now.
Yeah, because there's lots of formatting stuff, quite ugly one.
Yeah.
Where am I looking? Where am I looking? So, let me open the HTML editor class, which I think I had a second ago. Set, I'm sure it's document HTML. It is, yeah, set document HTML. So we're thinking this will be interesting. Whoa. Yeah, it didn't like that then, did
it? That's what it really looks like. That's what's in there.
Yeah, there you go.
And there's no way of getting the formatted text.
That is the formatted text.
Well, sorry. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're going to HT now. You sent us a thing, and I know.
Andy,
yes.
Yeah. Go look at that link I just sent you.
Yep, coming up now. And also, there's a free one which Brian suggested.
That's the same one I'm showing you here.
Oh, is it? Is his IREX software?
IREX software. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's data access. You sent me a link to the forum.
Yeah, and then it's got the links that go to the IREX software. That's how we came across
sorry.
it. But that's where the guy's explaining what he was trying to do, which is pretty much what we're trying to do.
Got you. So.
But if you go to that website, it's got a test converter. You can paste in the RTF and see how the HTML looks, and then you can buy his. See where it says C+ source code and easy to reuse COM component. That's what you buy for $50.
Cool. But did they give you a trial version to try it with?
I don't know. Well, the COM component's there, so you should be able to use it.
Yeah, it's just. I don't
Okay,
particularly want to go and buy
so
it.
you
I
can
don't need
it. Yeah. What's in the package? So your COM component's in the package, so you should be able to try that. And then when you buy the source code, you get the rights to distribute it.
But you have to compile it with C# or C++ by yourself.
No. It'll come with the COM already compiled. It's only if you want to make changes.
It has an ActiveX control. Oh,
yeah, that's what the COM component is.
Okay. So.
It says right there, there's no spyware in it, so you're okay.
Oh my days! What's the data?
back to basics there. I still see setups like this, mostly from like graphic card manufacturers.
Okay. Right. Let's just put that over there. So let's find where it put itself, which was E. No. Can't see the actual COM control.
Oh. Go ahead and run it, see what. It sounded like the COM control came with it, but maybe it's got to be in there somewhere. Otherwise, how is it doing it?
Well, C++ will be compiled in. This will be just their demo app. So.
You want to paste your RTF in just to see what it did?
Yes, yeah, we can do that. Import E. Oh. Oh, no, N, sorry. Take it, it's done that. Press the convert button.
2 milliseconds.
No. You have to press the buttons below. Top, bottom, yeah, that one.
Right, yeah. So it's done.
So this is converted to what? Converted from RTF to RTF.
No, I think it's done.
No. That's HTML. That's HTML.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We can conclude at the moment there's nothing which in my toolbox which I can use out of the box. So thank you for all your efforts, and I hope nobody was bored and fell asleep.
It just depends on how big your box is, Wolfgang.
Now, I have this still untouched Noyantis and Kojak stuff. Okay. So what I expected there's at the moment, I have to reconsider the entire process. Thank you.
No problem. Although now it's one of them where I want to find a converter.
Yeah, you feel compelled to do it now, don't you? What was the thing with the dock frac? That didn't work. That didn't do it.
There was no actual ActiveX there.
Oh.
Just having a quick look. Anyone see a free control?
I'm looking. I don't know. Let me give you this link.
I doubt that there's
Check
any
that
free
one.
control, free ActiveX control, because
There's always
there's a market for it. But on the other hand, you see all those tools are very old dated from the last decade, and there's no new development. Okay, there's no big development in HTML and in RTF. They are mature, but yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Don't you go away, Wolfgang. We're still working here. What do you see there, Andy?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's on the. Yep.
It's got a DLL.com folder there, it seems.
Yeah, that was what I was in, but looks like the C++ and the header files for it.
So you have to compile it up or something.
All 12 years ago.
There's a TLB. I think they just have the actual ActiveX itself, wouldn't it? Just literally from a testing point of view. No, unfortunately not. Not seeing it.
You'd have to clone it and then compile it.
I think the best one is that's probably the one at $50. I think that might be, Wolfgang, that might be, presuming you can go down that route, that might be an option for you. At least that way, because you want to be able to do it where it's not just a one-off task, it's going to be done again and again and again, then,
Yeah, loop as an automated loop through a table.
So you do need some kind of control. You can initialize at runtime and do the job under condition.
Yes. No, I don't have to watch the screen while it's doing that. But as long as it's, that's the idea. There's not a giant amount of data, so the planners to do it manually open the form and copy it from one control to the other control, and then store it. And this is the way I will go for this task. Yeah, okay. As I have the file explorer from Kojak, so this is.
What about what about, like you say, the clipboard?
Does that do it?
Yeah, that's what my intention was, to do that, because I did not think there's another way, but I was not able to do that before. And,
there should be one for, where are we? You are getting the thing, but you're getting carriage turns on them as well.
when you do a right click on this control, on your HTML control, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, we don't want them to be as paragraphs. We want them to be as break commands.
So this HTML editor is part of NBit, not of
That's
CodeJog.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
The one does have a viewer, but yeah.
Okay. So for now, you have satisfied my curiosity, and it's past 6 here, past 5 in the UK, past 9 in the US West Coast. Time to take up the work again.
Okay. No problem. If you have any joy or you need any help, John, next time, well, I'll try and get to the open webinar. Maybe we can pick up a go at that control again. Oh,
I pasted in one more thing that actually does look like it has a demo of the COM DLL. So yeah, we could try that on the open webinar or something, I think.
Yeah, try out the demo version. Okay. So John's got one here. We're going to try it. I'm just going to save it and see what the actual installer is. Won't be a second.
Maybe John and Arnold could hold a new poll asking if this conversion from HTML to RTF and vice versa is of any interest in the community, and then they might do a workout on this topic later on, which is then officially announced.
Yeah, it's good. Like I say, others are probably interested in this. Just trying the one what John just sent us there. John,
well, this could be this.
Find a version for your PC. Check with the publisher. This app can't run. That's the actual installer itself.
Did it fail, that one too?
So it says no issues found. So that's what we just brought down. It said the demo. But we'll try and run it.
Yeah, stop that. Don't do that. Don't infest your machine.
Yeah.
No. It probably just means it's 16 bits, is what I would guess, huh? But it's
not if it's COM though.
Do you see the COM control there?
It's just that installer. That's the only file what came down.
Yeah, forget it. Have you noticed the recent post of Friedrich in the third party and in the Setup Builder Newsgroup? He has announced some new topics. He has done an important bug fix in LSPAC, and we did some other important changes and enhancements. And point 4 was there is a new kind of certificate, code signing certificate. It's called extended value code signing. Extended value, you guess it, you smell it. Extended price code signing certificate. And this new one is differing from the standard as we are used to, that these new certificates automatically enlist you in the smart screen program of Microsoft. That means at the moment when I compile a program and I code sign it with Setup Builder and I start this on another machine, Smart Screen jumps up. Smart Screen is a tool by Microsoft which is they screen the EXEs and they check if they are something bad, and you have to jump through a hoop. You have to click on a almost invisible button on this window where you say, yes, I know, but I still want to start this program. And then in the next window, are you sure? Are you really sure? Please reconsider. Ooh, And this is smart screen, just to prevent some infection from a code signed program, which they do not know. And this extended value code signing certificate, which costs 3 times from what we are used to, will then do not trigger this smart screen warning. It will just run as intended. That's why we pay code signing certificates, just to buy and pay another one which does this favor for us. Okay, just for you to know.
No, it's good to know. Thank you.
I tried to trigger Friedrich to do a webinar, but I have not seen any reply on that.
No, he never wants to do it.
We have got a quick question from Bill regarding the HTML, so we can just open the mic again. Back to Bill. Although I can't unmute. Bill, I'm not sure if you've actually muted yourself.
I unmuted myself. Okay. No, I've been messing around with some stuff with TX text control for doing mail merge and sending out emails to prospects and that type of thing. And then I'm also doing some stuff where we're using the mail merge to print some different forms and stuff like that. And I'd kind of forgotten about the HTML editor. I bought that several years ago, and I'm just curious if maybe I wouldn't be better off on my email utilizing that.
I do, to be honest. But well, the easiest is that mail merge, just to prove that. But yes, basically, I store for different types of mail campaign templates. You create and store some kind of this, but I store it in my SQL field, and it's just HTML. And I just have my own little tokens here, so they're just something you can put in yourself. But just as you saw for this, when I go to do my emailing out, then it loads the base file, and then I just do the find replace. So you do the find the token and replace it with the relevant one from there, and then you've got your HTML content. You just basically get document HTML or get inner text, something like that, and that's what you go and send off to your email client software.
So does that become an attachment to the email, or does that?
No, that is the HTML content, the actual body of the email.
So that'd be the actual body of the email.
Yes. I mean, you can save it as an attachment if you want, but you won't really need to.
But and then I guess my other question was if I were using it within my program, and I'm going to print let's say a buyer's sheet, contract, and it's going to just print out on the local computer. Would it print out without in a decent 8.5 by 11 format, or do you end up with all that HTML header and footer and stuff that never prints right?
You can now. Try to think on the printing. Is it on the actual template? I'm sure there's some printing settings on here. Or am I thinking of the other template?
Because the HTML is good with being able to, because this would involve some pictures and some little tables and things like that, but it would be data that I'd merge in from my stuff based on what the customer was going to purchase.
Can't remember. Let me.
In this case, probably PDF is the format to go, because as a PDF, you can be sure how it is displayed. You never know what HTML rendering machine is on the client side. So the Internet Explorer has a history of very ugly display, and you can be sure that the Internet Explorer does not display exactly what the Firefox displays or Chrome displays, not to speak of Opera and all those other things.
Yeah, that's good, Wolfgang. But that means I'd be doing the thing in two different one thing for doing my emails and another thing for doing my local stuff. And I'm trying to combine two different functionalities in one
roof.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just have a quick look at the print for you. HTML.print document. So on that proof there, sorry, on that one, just quickly added so print. That should open up. I've got a PDF writer by default,
okay.
so we'll just have that. So N.
So when you have a Windows 10 machine, then there's a print to PDF functionality built in by Microsoft.
Yeah,
That's,
this is Windows 10. It's just I'll always use this Primo, so kind of.
Yeah, but that means when you know that you're targeting Windows 10, then you can print to a specific printer which is already installed. You have to just select print to PDF, and then you are good. It will be displayed in the Edge browser.
Right. It's just you've got to make sure that they don't rename that printer though. You might want to store that as an ini setting or a variable where you've got the printer name, because they might have renamed it within Windows.
And you have to rely on Windows 10, and when you are Windows 7 or Windows 8, I'm not sure if this is on Windows 8, but nobody has Windows 8 anymore. Windows 7, even Windows XP.
Yeah, no, I think that I'm probably better off keeping the approach that I'm doing right now, Andy.
Yeah, well, you have got the PDF there. Without the all the information around the top and the bottom, which you
that looks pretty good. But then you get to I guess I'm thinking of the format of the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, so that it looks. Where with this, you're going to run into the bleed over based on,
the way because it depends on what you designed. That's blatantly too big. If we was to, bring this down, so let's take this section out, that type of thing.
No, and then you'd have it on one page. I've got on the local stuff, I'd have the end users doing the creating their document, and I could see that would cause more problems than it would be worth. So you answered my question. I was just curious, and
it would go on one page, but of course it really depends on what it is you're actually doing and so on, from the content point of view, and the size of the content.
Yeah, on this thing here, we've already got a lot of it done anyway in the TX control.
Okay.
And that way it serves two functions.
So, well, you never know. This, I mean, for email, I use it. It's very easy to use, and you've seen how fast it is, and so on. So it comes out. It's really handy for that, definitely.
No, for sure. Yeah. Okay. No, I appreciate you.
Okay. No problem.
Showing me that.
And last but not least, what we're on now, because we are actually a tiny bit over time. Bijan just asked if with the HTML editor there was more on the editor actually. Oops. To do with the del key. So no, but I have been in touch, Bijan, with Richard, basically from NBit. He'd been quiet of late, so I contacted him to make sure that the control was still valid and still being developed and so on. And I'll just get the email here because it was good news. I was quite happy. He's done quite a bit of work on a major update to it. So I'm just trying to think what he said. Just bear with us 1 second while I find the email. Where is it? Yes, still under turn. Nope. That's typical. Can't find his email now. Basically, yes, he's doing quite a lot of work on the control. So we'll see about that del key at the same time. That's where we're up to on that. I was struggling to cover it in our class point of view, even though I think I've done it in the past. But I have been speaking with him, so we'll see what the update covers. Right, okay. If that's all, we shall wrap it up. So hopefully, it was a good session there. We covered a few different things actually. Hopefully you got something out of it. You've seen some updates coming through, and I shall speak to you all possibly on Friday then, if you're on there for the Friday webinar. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Avi.
I'll see you then. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye bye.